Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the Beatles' A Hard Day's Night. Now, this is, again, it's the third Beatles album, it's still an early Beatles album. I really enjoy them. As I said before, they're not actually anything special. I believe Help and Onwards is where the Beatles really got into their own, and that's the really, really special stuff. Whereas this is amazing, it's one of my favourite albums of all time, but their later stuff is so much better, and these videos will get so much better once I have these better albums to talk about. Anyway, A Hard Day's Night. Let's get straight into it with The Look. I fired the intern last week, and now I'm having to edit it all myself. Pain in the ass. Anyway, this album cover is iconic. Is it a photo reel? I was born, obviously, post digital camera, so I'm assuming this is like a film reel or a photo reel sideways with all the different faces, which is just, it's funny and I love it. I love how George is the only one who's got his face turned to the camera, away from the camera. But yeah, I mean, that's just iconic. But I believe in the States, this is red, not blue. The US, somebody asked me about the US albums. In America, the record companies had a ton more rights over the music, and they would take an album like this, and then they would split it in two. So you'd have shorter albums, but you'd have two albums. That's why if you went off the American releases for the Beatles in the 60s, they have a ton more albums than they do in the UK. But now we're in this information age with the internet and everything. The British releases are widely known as the main proper Beatles releases. But yeah, I mean, this is just, pardon me, that's iconic. And again, I love the back. I love the pictures from the film, and it's got the whole write-up, which I will, hopefully you can see that. You can pause it if you want to read. Somebody asked me to do that, so there you go. But I must admit, I've never seen the film, and I honestly don't have any wish to see the film. Not that, an artist making a film, it can be a great film in the case of Prince, with Purple Rain and Parade Under the Cherry Moon. Great films, but it's in black and white, and as much as I love the Beatles, they're just not that big of a, I'm not such a big fan of the Beatles that I'd watch a film of them. I haven't even seen the Help film either, or Magical Mystery Tour. Anyway, let's talk about... So, the opening track to this album is iconic, and the opening riff, the noise, which is like, I believe it's the sound of all of their instruments at once, just opens the album and the film. It's just superb, and it's iconic. I love it. Now, a really fun fact about this, which you probably already know, Paul McCartney sings vocals on Can't Buy Me Love, which was the first Beatles single where Paul McCartney sung the vocals by himself, no John Lennon. All that happened, John Lennon helped write it. It's a Lennon-McCartney song, but he had nothing to do with singing it. And that made John Lennon feel really threatened, because he saw himself as the lead singer of the band at this point in time. So all the other songs are primarily written by John Lennon and primarily sung by John Lennon, besides besides the George Harrison cut. I believe there's a George Harrison cut on here, but they're mostly John Lennon cuts because he felt threatened. And there's some great songs. I Should Have Known Better is great. If I fell in love with you, would you promise to be true? And again, the harmonica. Early 60s music used a lot of harmonica, and I love the harmonica. I had one. I still have one somewhere. I can't play it, but yeah. Happy Just to Dance with You. My favourite song on the album is And I Love Her. Do. So they're recording this song, and George Martin says that it needs something. It needs an intro. There's something missing. It's got to have an intro. And George Harrison just says, well, what about this? And then plays that iconic guitar riff. Do. And you just have to think, right? Can you imagine being so good at playing the guitar that you could pull that guitar riff out your ass? You know, it's such a good riff, and it just completes the song. And George Harrison is so talented; it's nothing to him. Whereas that would take other artists months to come up with, surely. Tell me why you cried, and why you tell me why is great. Can't Buy Me Love, one of their best songs. Can't Buy Me Love. Anytime at All. Explosive opening track to side 2 is great. Things We Said Today. You Can't Do That. I'll Be Back. There's some great. It's a good album overall, but it's just a bit. It's not one of their best, if I'm honest with you. But And I Love Her is amazing. Of course, Hard Day's Night. Can't Buy Me Love is amazing. And Anytime at All. Some really great songs. So, in conclusion, over the past week, I've had 2 different people message me. One person said they liked this format because they skipped to the end. And they know, because of the transition, they know that it's the end. And they just want to hear my final thoughts, which is fair enough. It's almost a 10-minute video usually. And then I had a different person tell me that it's crap. And I should just talk all the way through. So, you know, I love it. I love editing videos, and it gives me a chance to do things, and I absolutely adore it. I also can't talk for 10 minutes anymore without having to take a break to have a drink, or, you know, I'm an old man, an old asthmatic man. Anyway, this is 9 out of 10. All Beatles albums are a 9 out of 10, besides my favourite one. But it's just superb. And it's only, I believe it's only 25 minutes long, so it's a nice, neat little short album. Let me know what you think of A Hard Day's Night down below. And thanks for watching. Work's been a bit stressful lately, or life in general has been a bit up and down, so videos will return back to normal soon. Take care, everyone.